the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever.
Hello, everybody. God, wouldn't you know it? I got a call. Hold on one second, okay? Hello? 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 All right. I guess I missed it. Sorry, y'all. I was getting ready to go live. I guess, damn, yeah, I'm not muted. I don't know how I accidentally went live before I hit it, but I'm live now, so we're going to go with it. I just broke up a near dog fight. I'll give y'all some details here in a minute. Just hold on a second. Shit. Stressful already today, man. How's everybody doing? Mary Rose, Lynetta, Lisa, Prissy, Missy, Angie Davis. God almighty. Can y'all hear me? Everything good? Get a mic check? Mountain Dew, Ange Davis. Hear me pop the top? Yeah, John, don't roll like that no more. Ain't no, I don't know what you would call that, a early morning cocktail. Not this guy. You know, I've never had a mimosa. Y'all ever had a mimosa? I know rich people drink them in the mornings. I've never had one. Yes, mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You got your ears on? Well, let me tell y'all what happened. The reason we're live this morning. I damn near did a mad rant rage live, and by the time it took me to get it ready, I'm not half as pissed off as I was, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I don't know, man. Y'all help me out. Please tell me I'm not the only one sane left. I feel like that sometimes, man. Shit I see is crazy. I need to figure. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but you know, on your YouTube, when you go to the home, You have your feed, you scroll through, and it's typically stuff that you watch or, you're into and that kind of shit. But if you look, everything has that little thing beside it, the three dots. You can select on that and you can put not interested, right? And I tell you, I wish I would have discovered that a long time ago, because sometimes it feels like the YouTube algorithm is set up to only show me things that's going to piss me off. Mimosas are good. They look like orange juice. Are they a large part orange juice? I've noticed they have the color of orange juice. Did y'all know that though? You can start like blocking stuff from showing up in your feed. I didn't know that. I'm so glad I realized that, so I can start getting rid of some of this shit. Oh, and OJ and champagne. Now, I've had OJ and I've had champagne. I like screwdrivers, so I don't know. What'd you see that pissed you off? Ugh. You know, I just want to preface it by saying this. I don't know if other people has realized this or not. God, I shouldn't even go there. I really should. I'll get back to that. Screwdriver equals fun. Yeah, it turns out that way sometimes, don't it? Brass Monkey, dark rum and OJ. Ugh, is that what Brass Monkey is? I remember the Beastie Boys song. Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. Brass Monkey, that funky brass monkey. Hey, put your left leg down, your right back up. Tilt your head back. Let's finish the cup. Can y'all hear my cat purring? Maui's up here near the. Can you hear it? I ain't knocking Brass Monkey. I'm just saying that the dark liquor does not agree with me. I haven't had none in quite some time. You're taking me back. I miss the Beastie Boys and stuff, man. It's good stuff. You are purring at a 10. We got to get that down to about a 5. Can you make that happen? You turned it up. You went to an 11. Didn't you? Say, I'll talk to you sometimes, won't you? What is it? Why are you so happy? Huh? Why are you so happy? Are you happy? Are you in a good mood? Are you fat like Garfield? I thought you could talk. Huh? Yeah? Say hi. I thought she was going to. I guess not. I'm sorry. Cranberry and Jaeger. God, everybody like has them a favorite, don't they? I don't know. Y'all had a cat now. LOL. How are Harley and Zeke doing along with their with their new family edition. Yeah, we've had a cat forever. We've had Maui longer than we've had Harley or Zeke, which are both doing well. Thanks for asking. Y'all see, Andrew was on this morning. I was checking out some of him. He plays Daisy stuff a lot, but he's really good about not playing it long and then commenting to keep her, I guess, off him for the copyright. I just can't watch the shit, man. I can't. And I figure if somebody wanted to watch her, they'd watch her. They don't want to watch me watching her. I don't know. But yeah, I ain't telling other people how to do their stuff. He's doing good. 4 dogs, 3 cats is tons of fun. Oh, wow. I did not know that. LOL. Rock lobster, Crown Royal cranberry, Chambord, yummy. Ooh. That sounds complex. B-52s. Ooh, yuck. I wasn't much on the B-52s, Angie. We have rock lobster. I like the Family Guy with that in there. How's your beautiful wife? Haven't seen her in a while. She was on Tuesday. What day was it we done our live? Tuesday? Yeah, Brandy was on Tuesday. Now, what I'm talking, well, let's just get it out of the way, okay? The other day, there was some big hubbub about bones being found, and they were identified as human, and all this and all that, okay? And that TBI was telling a psychic they had done a great job, this and that. I feel like some stuff, and before everybody starts getting tripped out, are there some psychics that may have some talent? Yes. But I want to tell y'all, there are a ton that don't. And this stuff of people gathering evidence and all this stuff is just craziness. Okay. Number one, if you're collecting evidence, it has to be done in a very specific way for it to be worth any value whatsoever in court. All right. There are tons of procedures when it comes to chain of custody with evidence. So I just want us to say, even if the intent is honorable, the way it's being handled is not going to work. And I'm sure a bunch of you know what I'm talking about. It's just not. If you was to go out and find some legitimate evidence, and you got somebody touching it, showing it, and all this, it's no good. And to think that TBI is working with somebody and telling them, great job, keep doing what you're doing, and all that is just not viable to me. You can't believe everything you hear. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so over talking about any of this shit anymore. There has been nothing valuable come out in quite a while when it comes to her case. And I still say, I know it's not popular, but to be honest, I still say it's not this big glamorized thing that everybody wants it to be. I think it's much simpler. I think it comes out to the same reason. In 98% of cases, the person responsible for a child missing is that person's child and or legal guardian. That is a fact. 98% of the time a child goes missing, it's due to the parent's child or legal guardian. Okay? Quit making these people rock stars. It's crazy. Until authorities speak up, I don't believe anything. Thank you for that. It's good to hear. It's so good to hear. And if you notice, I looking back, I probably made way too many Summer Wells videos myself. But from now on, unless it is about her case specifically, and that's basically it, I'm not putting it in my titles anymore unless it's something I feel is worthy. And I can't respect people that keep this shit going. I really can't. You know, and I think it, I did the video on the live stream where Brandy Neal was on it and where she was talking to Daisy and Dawn and all. I recommend, I hate to send people to that, but if you want to watch that, I recommend people go watch it. And go watch, just fast forward it to the part where Brandy Neal comes up and watch it from there on. I really recommend you do that. And tell me you don't get just a completely different vibe from Brandy and Dawn. It's an amazing thing if you really watch it to see these two people considering their circumstance. Okay? They have a lot in common. Think about this, okay? Neither Brandy nor Dawn was there when their child went missing. Neither one of them. Okay? Yet Brandy and Dawn are the ones that we heard from. They were kind of like the spokesperson for the family. Okay? And you tell me why it is when they're on YouTube together at the same time that Brandy is focused on Michael and Michael's case and respecting Michael and things to that effect. Y'all get what I'm saying? And you can tell when it comes to Brandy, she's like, I don't want Michael's name associated with this and that. And then it comes to Dawn, and Dawn's big thing is, I'm the victim, how I've been treated, things that have happened to my family, me and Candace. That's the difference in the reason that I have sympathy for one and not the other. And I think, and this is just my opinion, it to me in the long run, and I could be wrong about this, is the difference between the love one has for their missing child and the loved one has for themselves. I don't know if I'm explaining this well or not. I could be butchering it. I don't know. I wish everybody would go back and watch it, and I think for most of y'all that have, you know exactly what I'm saying. I hope. Did any of that what I just said make sense to y'all? I don't know how to explain it. Brandon knew the exact number of days Summer went missing, not Summer's parents. That should tell you a lot when another missing child's parents know exactly how many days Summer went missing. So sad. Yeah, it was. And, you know, she knew how many days it was between made sense. Good. I'm glad. I hope when I get kind of passionate about something and I have a little bit of anger, also I have really hard time articulating what I'm trying to say. And it's this stuff is starting to get to me. You know, everybody's like, "Hey, why ain't you been on in a while?" And it's just all this all the time nonsense, and I feel like it's nothing but nonsense. And you step back and look at it, and you're like, "What is going on right now? What is going on that on this?" Around this where it's like all this shit is nothing but just I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I made a mistake trying to do a live today because of just how over some of this shit I've gotten. Wonder if that's Don's way of deflection. Not sure if that's the right word, but it seems like he's trying to throw everyone off as to what is important. It's got to do what you said. Just turn your phones off. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep my channel afloat is what I'm trying to do and not take a big sabbatical because I took one a while back. It's really frustrating talking about this shit as much as I do, you know. C and D are sad examples of bad parenting at the very least. See, I think that's what I think what it is that gets to me the most is how with Dawn and Candace, people act like, you know, you should be helping them and raising money for them and all this. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for the fact their child was missing, there's no way in hell anybody would be donating money to them. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Do you think the way they conduct themselves, and let's not kid ourselves, before Summer went missing, they wasn't angels. I mean, the shit with Dawn getting hauled off to jail for the Jose crap was, you know, wasn't even a year before this. Okay. So they weren't angels before she went missing. And they weren't living right when she went missing. Okay. And they haven't been living right after she went missing. So who if they didn't have a missing child, would be supporting them? Nobody would. I'm sorry. They're not the type of people I would be friends with, regardless of the Summer situation. And I think the majority of people would share the same thought. There was shady stuff going on up there. There's shady stuff going on in that holler. To what extent, who knows? That's why I can never say 100% I know Dawn and Candace are involved, because there is a lot of shady shit going on around there. And they were what I feel like they were a big part of that, you know? And the only reason I can think of that they haven't been suing neighbors for slander is because a lot of what the neighbors have been saying is true. Even now that Summer is missing, nobody should be donating to them. They have not been cleared. They are still the main suspects. It's amazing. Wells think they got away with what they did, and Dawn wants the conversation of Summer to end, but wants to enjoy the sympathy, attention, not the negatives, and profit from it. Yes. I've heard that when someone shows you who they are, believe them. We've all been shown who Dawn and Candace are. Yeah, we've been shown it for 2+ years. You know, I mean, think about the one thing that sticks out in my mind, and it really shocked me that pretty much every bit of support they have didn't fall off after they did it, was the prank phone call to Mary. Think about that act in itself, how evil that shit was. And this ain't, they didn't do this for a YouTube prank or a TikTok prank or something like that. They didn't do it for that. These are, at the time, Dawn was, he's 57, 58 now. So, 55 at least, Candace is 35, 36, 37, whoever. We're talking about people that age doing some shit like that. That doesn't blow y'all's mind. Am I making too much out of that? That don't blow y'all's mind that people with a missing child did that. I'm the only one that am taken back by that. It's this kind of shit, man, that just blows me away. I swear, I think my next project is going to be all the things that have happened that make me think the Wells are shady as they can be. And I'm going to put everything I've seen and pretty much know is factual together and see how many things I can come up with. I swear I could probably make it an hour long. Also, I'm local. There's been no reports of human remains being found. Yeah. And associated with that, with what's, been going on recently, which I'm trying to talk about without talking about, because I damn sure don't want to popularize it anymore. Immature criminals. It's amazing. It's amazing. And now, but even though saying that, like I said, I'm not saying 100% it is them. We don't know that. But I have a feeling any way this plays out, it's going to be something that damn sure could have been avoided with just a little bit of effort at being a good person. And I'm now to where I'm almost ready to say I'm 100% sure. Well, no, there's not a doubt in my mind. I know I'm supposed to say it's my opinion and all that, so I'm going to. In my opinion, allegedly, I think it's very hard to argue against. They damn sure know more than they're telling. That thing though, this of Fred Hills and sisters are out gathering evidence, that just blows my mind. Blows my mind. And there's another example. I see he has Cash App and his girlfriend has a Cash App. These are people with records. I mean, I would love to have the money that's being donated to Don and Candace and Fred Hill and Fred Hill's girlfriend and all these other people, have it all and be able to give it to a private detective that would go and find out what happened to Summer. And I'll say this too, I've thought about this. When you get 10,000 subscribers as a YouTube creator, you can have a fundraiser. Okay. I think anybody with over 10,000 subscribers that want to use her name every other day should go have a fundraiser. Go get a private eye, a good one, a good private eye. See how much it would cost to hire this private eye for a month at least, or 2 or 3 or however long, just to see, and then go have a fundraiser, hire the private eye, and get somewhere, because we're not getting anywhere now. See, you got to have 10,000 subscribers. Somebody like me who's not willing to rabbit hole shit to death, who don't flash a Cash App for criminals, can't get there because it's just not popular enough. It's not enough drama and not enough of a story, and ain't willing to lie to all y'all and play y'all. If I want to play everybody like simps and invent shit and make shit up and pretend to believe shit I didn't believe, I could have 80,000 subscribers by now. And I could do a fundraiser and get a private eye. I can't get there because I'm not willing to lie to everybody and pretend shit's happening that ain't fucking happening. And I'm not willing to either. I'm not going to sell out. I'll be damned if I'm going to sell out. I'm not willing to, throw the chat link in the script in the comments, then pull some asshole up, play a victim, and do that. This is just not who I am. But I'd like for everybody, that knows it. And I'm not calling any one person out. I'm saying if you got over 10,000 subs, I would highly suggest, if you're going to use her damn name in every other video and do 10 lives a week on it, why don't you do that? Why don't you try that? Nothing else, it would give you you could maybe actually put some real fucking facts out, but you won't do that. I probably shouldn't even mention this. They'll be like, well, no, I ain't interested in doing that, but damn, I damn sure take up a fundraiser for Don and Candace and then split it with them. I bet you somebody'd be willing to do that. Oh, it's so. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't come on, man. I've been dying to say that for a long time though, because that just seems so obvious to me. You know, I always thought, that would be the thing to do. Have one, and you could build that shit up too. Get some other creators. And I think there's a way you could do that to where you never even have to be a part of it. Really, like you could do the fundraiser, and I think you can even set the fundraiser to go directly to the account for the PI, so there wouldn't be no questionable shit going on. I know there's a way to do it, and if people put their popularity to use, they could figure it out. It's not rocket science. What aggravates me more than anything is people use their misfortune commingled with her name to gain. Yes, lots of that. I don't even, do you think Hawkins County and TBI would cooperate with a private detective? Burnt Dirt, I don't know. I don't know. I know they say a lot of the times it seems like to me the experiences I've heard of that law enforcement, can be warm or cold to them. It really depends on how bad they want a case to get solved, I would say. But the good thing about it is then, I think there's private eyes that are good, that are good at what they do, and it wouldn't really make a huge difference if they wasn't super cooperative, that they could still overcome that. I would love to see the guy that was on Dior Coons's case get in it. His name is escaping me right now, but God, I would love to see what he would charge and see somebody hold a fundraiser and have enough money to hire him, because I guarantee you he would come out and tell you what he thought. And if the cops wasn't willing to cooperate, he would be willing to tell you that too. A lot of people might not like the guy. Somebody help me. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. He was the PI for Dior Coons. The family fired him because he ended up saying, hey, I think it's y'all. And that's what in Dior Coons' case, that's how they did it. They had some kind of GoFundMe, and it raised the money to hire the PI. Why is nobody doing that for Summer? Everybody's raising money, but damn, ain't nobody wanting to hire a PI, are they? Oh, God, somebody help me. I know somebody in here knows his name. Please help me. Car broke down, need rent, broke fingers, toes, foot and ankles, tooth infection, moving, gas money. You got it, Be the Bean. Yep. Philip Klein, thank you. Yes. I've bitched about this before a little bit about we need Philip Klein, but there's how you could possibly get Philip Klein. Philip Klein's the dude we need. Yeah. Oh, the Dior Coons case it's a stumper too. If y'all don't know, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Dior Coons, a little boy. They went him and I think it was Idaho, If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I'm pretty sure it was Idaho. They went camping. It was the mom, the dad, Dior, the grandpa, the mom's grandpa, and his neighbor. They all went camping. Long story short, somehow Dior disappears and ain't been found since. And it appears in that case, if I had to say, I would have to think, yeah, I would have to think it was the parents in that case. But the weird thing about that case is the parents have disappeared. So, or not disappeared, I'm sorry, divorced, and nothing's still coming out. It wasn't grandpa's friend. Isaac didn't have no chance. I've thought about that too. I don't think it had nothing to do with Isaac, because Isaac didn't have a vehicle. He had nowhere to go. And the little boy was supposedly only out of everybody's sights for like 10 to 15 minutes. I feel like they would have found him, because there's no way Isaac could have moved him far enough away. 2015, no closure. Yeah. Yep. And that one, little blonde-headed boy, seems like a lot of these, well, of course, I had blonde hair when I was little too. I sometimes think there's something to that, and then I sometimes think not. But, there's been a lot of little blonde-headed kids go missing, never seen again. They cleared Isaac, didn't they? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. There's some people that think Isaac had something to do with it. I do not for 1 second. Like I said, according to everybody's story, it was 10 to 15 minutes, supposedly. And there's no way Isaac, without any vehicle, could have got him far enough away and been there, where everybody had seen him, that the searchers, somebody wouldn't have found him. It was the parents, I think. I think that trip into town they took, I don't think Dior come back from it. And I think the grandpa was real old and in bad shape. I think they could have convinced him that, Dior had been with him and he wasn't, is what I think it comes down to, or who knows. But I definitely don't think it was Isaac. I doubt Dior was even there. I've thought about that too. Yeah. A lot of people don't even think he made the trip. And it was such a strange thing, because they were talking about they were getting ready to be evicted from their apartment and they're broke and all this, but yet it was their idea to go camping. When you go camping, it's not cheap. You're going to have to spend some money. You got to pay for the campground. You got to get food. You got to travel, got to have gas, blah, blah, blah. If you're broke as hell, it's odd that you take just a camping trip out of nowhere. You could be right. He wasn't there and they all lied. Yeah. I get the feeling, though, Isaac had something wrong with him. I think Isaac could have been manipulated. And I think Isaac could have only been included because they wanted to help create the narrative that, Dior was with him and everything was cool, At this point, I'm more interested in what happened to your neighbor's breakdown truck over what anyone on Ben Hill says. I'm so glad to hear that, man. I think people are starting to get wise to shit. Their story made no sense. Yeah, on Dior Coons' case, it made 0 sense. You were exactly right. You are explaining it very well. I also can't articulate either. You're passionate about this. You're so on point. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Darlene Gentry. Liplock Memoir. Good morning. Honey Tina Dot. Ruby Slippers. Darlene Gentry. Sec to no one. Ooh, I like that. They need a witness to speak up for them, in my opinion. Yeah. I think that could have been what Isaac was all about. And, that kind of makes you think maybe that's what H is all about in Summer's case, Like these people, there's a lot of little similarities in a lot of this stuff, And in Dior's case, Dior's mom, she had other kids that she had given up the rights to. 2 other kids. So there's that. Well, I don't know if she gave up the rights. She gave up custody. I know that. And I know before somebody jumps on me that, people can do that out of love. Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying it is a coincidence that spans the two, right? I would like to I would love for Philip Klein though to just go over Summer's story and give his opinion about it. Y'all gotta, if you don't know Dior's story, you should really check it out. Dior Kunz. It's Deorr Kunz, Kunz, I think. Go check it out. And if nothing else, watch the videos that has Philip Klein in it. That dude, man, he'll tell you what he thinks. That's why I would love to see him be able to come in and go through Summer's case and get his perspective on what he thinks. A weekend camping trip probably cost as much as gas for the week. Oh, easily, I would say, or more, you know? Definitely. For giggles, Ostich says he was taken by a bear. Yeah, there is the wildlife rumor with Dior, but nothing's ever been found to substantiate anything. Somebody I heard say once they thought an eagle could have took him. It'd have to have been a damn big eagle. He would call it as he see it, no BS. Exactly, Lisa. And I'm telling you, if Philip Klein came in and he didn't think Don and Candace did it, he would damn sure tell you that too, I feel. That's why I would love for him to come in and go over the case. JDTC and Chad, I have to go. My middle son is home and guilting me into working out with him because my legs are getting crepey. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being a member too. Me and Brady really appreciate it. How much weight can an eagle carry? Just curious. I don't know, but it can get up there. I don't think they could get Dior personally. It would be really crazy, but who knows? The thing with Dior too is a lot of people have the issue with him walking off was that they admittedly said he had like oversized cowboy boots on that he was wearing, and that he couldn't, he couldn't get far without at least one of them coming off or something. They never, as far as I know, I don't think they ever found one single piece of evidence that would support him walking off or a bear or anything to that effect. I may have to Google Philip Klein just for something to do, see if he has contact info. Do that, Lisa. If you do that, email me. Let me put up my email and let me know. I would love to know if they would if they would work with like the fundraiser setup to where if we did that and get us some pricing and stuff, but I can't do it. That's the thing. You have to have 10,000 subscribers to do it. I would love to see it done though. I'm telling you, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, Hold on, I'm looking for my there it is. There's my email at the bottom. Looks like they would find a boot. Yeah, in Dior's case, it definitely does. You know, why? I wasn't planning on talking about that at all, but let me look and see if there's any updates on Dior's case. I don't think there is. I haven't heard nothing in forever. Last I had heard, I know the parents had gotten divorced, and the dad had moved. The mom got remarried. I do remember that. She actually got married not too long after he disappeared, not to Dior's dad either, to another dude. July 10th. Let's see what this has to say. Dior's grandmother said that she still has faith and prays for answers in her grandson's disappearance from 2015. 8 years have passed since 2-year-old Dior Coons Jr. disappeared at Timber Creek Campground near Lodore on July 10th, 2015. This is from KTVB7. That's the local station. I'm taking it out of Idaho, where Dior was from. The Lemhi County Sheriff told KTVB officers still plan on doing their annual search of the area, but he would not say when that search would take place. And this is from his grandmother. Hopefully it's going to let me read it. Let's see. Here we go. Today marks 8 years of this ongoing nightmare. I still have faith and pray for answers every day. I remember all the great times, laughs, and your beautiful eyes and smile. I have and will never give up hoping for the answers until the day I die. I give great thanks to everyone who still helps with looking and keeping positive thoughts and prayers in the name of baby Dior. I am eternally grateful for all law enforcement that continues to help seek for the answers to the nightmare at Timber Creek Campground. I love you, baby Dior, today, tomorrow, and for eternal. The case has drawn intense scrutiny from people around the nation. Spectators have questioned whether Dior had been killed by an animal, snatched by a kidnapper, or been the victim of foul play. Much of the speculation focused on the adults who have been with Dior at the Timber Creek Campground, the boy's mother, father, great-grandfather, and a family friend. Great-grandfather? Well, yeah, it would be his great-grandfather because it was his mom's grandmother. Named suspects in the case have gone back and forth. In 2016, the Lemhi County Sheriff named Dior's parent suspects in his disappearance. According to previous reporting, the sheriff said the parents of Dior have been less than truthful since the investigation began. They refused to give us any further information to clear up the untruthfulness, and they've changed their story on numerous occasions, Sheriff Lynn Bowerman told KTVB. Bowerman also said it was highly unlikely Dior was kidnapped. There's one road in, one road out to the remote Timber Creek Campground. If an animal had taken him, there would be evidence left behind, like Dior's boots that were too big for him. Bowerman believed they would have fallen off. After days and weeks of searching, not a trace of Dior was found at the campground. Dior's parents have been adamant they had nothing to do with their son's disappearance. Jessica Mitchell, Dior's mother, said, I have nothing to hide. I didn't murder my child. I didn't see him get hurt in any way possible. So, apparently, sadly as it is, there's no real updates in Dior's story, it don't seem. Many marriages decline after a tragedy. Seems odd DNC still together. Don't it? Seems odd that they stay together after losing their kids and everything. As much as they fight, don't seem to get along. You know? Makes you wonder, don't it? Well, what would keep you with somebody you didn't get along with after you lost your kids? Maybe say you Was afraid they might tell something. Who knows? But, they both had a good, how many months was Dawn in jail? They had that whole time. They didn't turn on each other throughout all that. I don't think it's going to happen. Some people will talk to a private investigator before they would talk to cops. There you go. That's another thing. That's another reason I say we need a good private investigator. After I heard the other private investigators say that their number one theory was an animal took her, that just told me they're going to not be much help. Because unless they're holding it, keeping it to themselves, I've never heard of one shred of evidence that would make you think that. Not one. They have information on each other. See, a lot of people believe that. They think that that's what's keeping everybody quiet, is everybody's got something really good on the other one. That's makes you wonder, Found something, emailing you now. Oh, that's awesome. Y'all might find out some more about this Philip Klein situation right now. I can pull it up on my phone if you email it to me. I'll tell you what, anybody want to chat? Drop a link if anybody wants to come out. Let me see. Lip lock, you in the talkative mood? You ain't gonna be on camera. All right. No, she won't. I know she won't. She never will. The only thing I would think about an animal is a coyote will sometimes befriend small animals, get them to follow deep into the woods to their pack. I just don't know how far Dior could have followed, though, really, in that amount of time. Kenneth did begin to turn on Dawn, but those two have so much dirt on each other, they're stuck together for now. I just wonder if they got something on Grandis, because I just don't get how Grandis could be living that close to the situation. And if there is something, how she could not be privy to what's happened. Well, damn, I've been sitting in another chat. Didn't know you were live. Good morning. Messy Jesse. Thanks for joining us. It's all about the last 5 people who admit they were with the victim, Candace, Grandis, 3 brothers. Remember, Donnie wasn't there, according to Candace and Donnie. Has Grandis ever said Donnie was or wasn't? What confirmed that Grandis has said has been very little. As far as I know, when she tells the story, she doesn't include it. Now, looky.
Welcome. She never does. He said she never does.
You don't. You always stand me up.
You can never say never again. I look terrible. Let me turn my camera off.
Okay. You could have left it on. You look fine.
Well, I had to go pick up the remains of one of my rescue cats this morning. So I've been crying this morning. So I didn't want to show that. But since you said I never, I just had to. And I also have a low charge on my phone, so I won't be able to stay on very long.
Oh, look at you.
No, okay. I'm serious.
Went ahead.
I did a live.
Set up your escape, didn't you?
So, what do you want to talk about?
Do you know who Philip Klein is?
No, I never heard of him, and I'm interested to
Oh,
know.
he is a
Yeah.
bulldog private eye.
Okay.
He will
What is
tell
he?
you what he thinks, regardless. He's very outspoken. I would love for him to become a part of Summer's case. And I was telling everybody that when you have 10,000 subscribers, you can do a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Somebody with 10,000 subscribers could do a fundraiser. That money could go directly into an account to hire Philip Klein. And I think that'd be the best thing anybody could do for Summer, since people want to raise money and shit all the time.
Okay, but you have to have 10,000. That's the kind of fundraising where it goes directly to the organization, right?
That's the way I understand it. Yes.
Yeah. I've seen it done on a couple of other channels, and like really responsible channels. And yeah, it doesn't even go through YouTube. It goes directly to the organization. Well, I know you've already told us about Philip Klein, but I came in a little bit late. I don't want to ask you to repeat yourself, so I'll rewind. But is there anything you haven't said about him you can say now?
He was on Dior Coons's case.
Okay, and that's the baby. That's the baby you were talking about, the little baby we've seen pictures of with the cowboy boots.
Yes.
Okay.
And he, basically that's how he got hired through them, is my understanding. If I remember correctly, was they did a GoFundMe or something. They hired him, right? Well, he had no problem. He thinks it was the parents. And, he put that shit out there too. So what I was saying was, you hire this guy, it's a win-win. And, I also think he's got enough umph to him. If he didn't think it was him, he'd tell us that too. And I would love to see it, because wouldn't you rather see people putting money towards something like that as opposed to just giving it to all these other unworthy causes surrounding the case?
Yes, I would, if you're asking me. I would love to see something of value done on Summer's behalf. I mean, let me amend that statement. A lot is done on Summer's behalf by persons such as yourself and others on YouTube. But what we do is we keep her name alive and in the public eye. We're not literally out there searching for her or investigating her case. Well, investigating, yes. But I would love, John, I would be thrilled, especially if he is someone that you deem credible and reliable and responsible.
Well,
so this man is a real accredited private investigator then.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
okay. Go ahead.
I want to say, I don't know the dude. I'm just saying, and it could be somebody else. I don't, we could, whoever did this, like, I don't have enough subs. I can't do it. Okay.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't even have 7,000 yet.
So whoever, I would be, it'd be up to them. But I'm sure there are a lot of private investigators out there that have the credentials and could. It just seems like to me it would be the logical step. I really think that would be better for her case than billboards and anything else. I think a private investigator, because like other people have said, people might be willing to say something to a private investigator that they're not willing to say to Ronnie Lawson. Maybe these people know Ronnie's dirty and ain't willing to say nothing, but maybe they would be willing to say something to a private investigator. You never know. That could be where a break could come.
Well, I agree with that. I saw Dick Dollar leave that in your chat right before I came up. And I agree with you, and I agree with Dick Dollar. I think a lot of people, especially if they have things, let's see, how do I say this? Not connected with Summer's disappearance, but things they don't want law enforcement to know that have nothing
Right.
to do with Summer. I can see where folks in that situation would much more readily open up and tell a private investigator what they may know or suspect that could
Yes.
give them some leads in the right direction. And then maybe law enforcement would listen to the private investigator if it's
Right.
a if it's a credible, a solid person with a good reputation and background. And Mr. Klein, having worked on little Dior's case, I don't know, of course, what other experience he has in regards to missing children, but we know he has that experience.
Right. Well, though, I don't know about licensing either. Now that I think about it, if he could even work as a licensed private investigator in Tennessee, but it doesn't have, like I said, it ain't got to be him. We could find somebody, I'm sure. And all I can see is upside to it.
I agree. I agree. So, are we making an appeal to a reputable creator on YouTube that has more than 10,000 subs? I mean,
Well, I'm hoping everybody watching might go to these creators with more than 10,000 subs and be like,
yeah.
hey, did
Hey,
you know? I just heard what you could be doing instead of running her name into the damn ground in everything. You could actually do something that would be very helpful.
yeah. Yeah. I will. I go into a number of live chats. Generally speaking, there are 2 or 3 live chats that I might go into on a day. And most of them have covered Summer's case. And I don't mind as a chatter or a member on a channel to drop into chat. Hey, I heard something this morning. What do you guys think?
I would love to see it.
I would. So there have to be private investigators with credentials in Tennessee.
Oh, I'm sure we can find a good one. I'm sure. If we could find a creator with the subs and we could get that lined up, we could work the details out. I'd be willing to help find the private investigator or whatever. I'd be willing to do some, research on what exactly we have to have and all this.
Yeah, some legwork. Yeah.
But we could get some other people to help. I'm sure a lot of people would be willing to help organize what it would take to make it happen.
Well, Summer has an entire army out here. I know that many of us have grown reluctant with that particular phrase, but we are an army on her behalf, and most of us don't intend to ever give up.
That just seems like the logical next step to me.
I mean, where can we go from here if not there, John? I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of it, so I'm talking right off the top of my head, and I'm not, as I mentioned, particularly in a good mind frame to be live right now. But what else can be done?
Well, right now all we're doing is building a defense for somebody when they go to trial by keep supporting this rabbit hole and bullshit. So I think it's the best thing that could be done.
I'm telling you what, there's so much I just don't watch now with Summer's name in it because, in my opinion, and it is my opinion only and does not reflect on John Davis True Crime, John Davis, or Brandy. This is only my opinion.
Go ahead.
What I have been seeing on social media in the last week in particular, but several weeks gathering up, has just blown my mind. Irresponsibility in putting out misinformation, things that, in my grounded opinion, as one who prefers to use intellect and common sense and rely upon law enforcement and God Himself, in Summer's case, it's very distressing.
Oh,
It's very, very distressing, especially with Cash Apps running. And I don't mean to be ugly, judgmental, self righteous, or in any way, but I so wish that we could all come back to the place where we remember that we are talking about Summer Moon Utah Wells, who went missing at the age of 5. And can we not speak of her with respect, not put on her things that we don't know, that she does not deserve, while continuing to hold her parents' feet to the fire? But can we not do that without
it's gotten bad.
the ugliness?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree totally.
John, I have seen the most of what I have seen, especially in the last week, channels that I have frequented. All they're doing is talking about other creators.
Yeah.
Or the Don and Candace show. It's not the Don and Candace show. It's not even a show. It's real life for Summer, if she's alive. And it was real life for her on the 15th of June of 2021, a date that her mother and father don't seem to remember when they say, or Candace says, Summer's been missing for going on 3 years.
Ain't that something? I was amazed. And, she ain't the only one that got that wrong. I heard another person say, well, they've been going through this for 3 years now.
I heard that too.
Well, how do you not know that? How do you talk about this that much and not know that detail of how long this girl's been missing?
Yeah. How do you not know Leslie Earhart said early afternoon hours? How do you not know? I just got the 15% warning on my battery, John. I'm sorry, but how do you not know what Ronnie Lawson said, that she was last seen by her brothers?
Yeah.
How do you not know the particulars on the TBI.com FAQ page for Summer Moon Utah Wells? If you are on social media and you're talking about her, you should be able to say all of that without ever looking at a note, if you have been covering her for any time at all. You know that she was wearing a pink shirt and gray pants and was likely barefooted.
Yep.
You know she has blonde hair and blue eyes. You know that her head had been shaved shortly before her disappearance. You know that her upper front teeth were in decay. You know all of these details. How can you not know how long she's been missing? And if you don't know how long she's been missing, may I respectfully ask you to shut your mouth about her? Daisy. I'm sorry, John.
Okay.
So, baby, thank you for allowing me to come up. And Brandy, don't you get mad at me for calling your handsome husband baby.
Thanks for coming up.
It's just a term of endearment, and we don't want the world to know, especially Brandy, that John and I are indeed having an affair.
Oh,
So
shit. You said
you're
it.
the one that spilled it in my live chat.
You, sorry, y'all. We lost our connection with Lip Lock. It was great having her. I don't know what happened there, but I appreciate her coming up. Nah, we're just playing. It is upsetting though. I feel her. You know, it's amazing how people probably know the Cash App for Fred's girlfriend better than they know the date she went missing. Let that rattle around in there for a minute. I think her phone died. Yeah, I think her phone did die, actually. Yes. I tell you, man. I don't know where we're going with it. I think though, I think the PI is the next good step. I really do. You know? And I'm not saying it's got to be the guy I was talking about. I don't know a lot of PIs. I just know of the ones that I've seen or heard about. I know he seemed to be one that you know, in Dior's case, he seemed to be like he was really good at what he did, you know, and he was really in it for getting to the bottom of it, because I mean he knew the parents was lying. He called them out on it, and then they fired him because he wasn't willing to, I guess, bullshit. That's what we need. We need somebody to come in and do that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the particulars, but I feel like it's what, if you're really interested in helping the situation, it's what you should be doing. If anybody's got a better idea on how to find a missing person after 2+ years, what would be something beneficial in that process, I'm more than willing to listen. But they say they got PIs on it right now. Well, when that PI says, I think it was an animal attack, even though, as far as I know and as far as has been reported, the police have never said anything near that. There's zero evidence of that. I think those people are working pro bono, so I will give them credit. Thank them for working on our case. But I just it's without knowing of any evidence that would support that, I don't know how you can come up with that theory. She's right. Summer served better before she went missing. She stirs better now. If someone is there for the right reason, there's a common ground justice for Summer. We can all agree on that. Yes. And that's what I want. I think a lot of people have gotten to where they want Dawn and Candace in jail so bad that I think it's almost become more important than justice for Summer, and those might not be the same thing. I think they're responsible, though, at some level, regardless. That's only my opinion. Chris M's organization would be a route to go. Dawn refused, but they're not guardians. Wonder if there's a way to involve them now. Well, you know, I don't think you need any of that to have a private investigator. One problem that you might run into, though, admittedly, is the willing of law enforcement to cooperate with somebody, a private investigator that isn't connected to the family. I don't know though. I know a lot of these little smaller police departments seem to be really against outsiders, but I don't understand what would be a better option if that's what the end goal really is. I sent you his info. Couldn't hurt to email him. It's something that needs to be looked into. I think we should all. I think we could all agree on that. It cannot hurt to look into it. You know, that's my opinion. I don't see why. I don't see a downside to it. What are we going to do for? We just going to keep doing what we're doing? Well, when I say we, I don't even really mean myself, because I'm out of ideas, and I have been out of ideas for a minute. You know, the only thing I do anymore is I just watch what Dawn and Candace say. That's the only thing I can find any value in. I can't pretend like I think that the neighbor who is on YouTube 80 hours a week and running her mouth constantly is able to outsmart the police. I can't pretend like I believe that. I can't pretend like I believe people are just talking about this shit left and right because they're involved in it. I can't believe that. The ones in the holler that haven't talked on YouTube, those are the ones that I'd be more suspicious of, you know. That behavior would be more indicative of somebody that was involved in something than people that are dying to be on YouTube and talk 24/7. Typically, that's not how a criminal reacts. I don't see any reason why Dawn and Candace would complain either. They might, I don't think they'd be complaining publicly, but who knows behind closed doors, you know. I'd like to know what went on the Hill weeks before she got gone. You know, there hasn't been nothing new out in forever, but my mind goes to different places. And lately, I've been on this thing where I try to read stuff into different things that I know to be true, and I come back to the haircut and a comment I got. I don't even remember if it was a live or in the comments of one of my videos a while back, and I had a teacher comment, and they told me, they said, if Summer would have showed up in their classroom on day one of school with the shaved head and as thin as she looked in the last, pictures we seen them, they said they would have contacted DCS. And I thought for a teacher to say that was really interesting. You know, people keep going back to, oh, she wasn't rolling school. She wasn't rolling school. She was. Okay, well, she never made it to school, so I don't know one way or the other what that tells you. But I found it really interesting that a teacher actually came out and told me that. They said, if Summer would have come to my classroom in the condition that we seen with the shaved head and all this, they would have had questions. Thought that was interesting. I got to go putting tile down today. Thanks for coming, Tina. I appreciate it. Do you have to get their permission or no? Just saying. I don't see why you'd have to get anybody's permission to hire a private detective for anything. Honestly. I don't think so. And like I said, it doesn't have to be Philip Klein. I just don't understand why, if people want to support, finding Summer and having justice for Summer, that there wouldn't be a lot of people willing to get behind hiring a private detective. Well, if worst comes to worst, John, we take a road trip to Ben Hill. Let's go. I just don't know what, I don't know how a PI would go about that. I would think a PI probably one of the first things they would do, or, I definitely wouldn't want a PI, I don't think, from Hawkins County. Just saying, man. I mean, there's already a lot of questions about possible corruption in the small town department. I definitely want to get somebody outside of the area, if at all possible. Interesting why anyone at the church never called CPS DFS. Well, I mean, do we know that they didn't? To be honest, we don't know. I can't. That's the thing. We don't know that. Don claims that they were in contact. He claimed that they had been cleared by the supervisor the night before she disappeared, which, that makes no sense. But I think there was contact with CPS prior to Summer's disappearance. And who knows, where that came from. If a nurse at a health clinic that gave her shots for school looks like they would call CPS. I would think that a lot of people, no matter what, would have questions about the hair, I don't trust Hawkins County law enforcement after Brandon Lawson's case. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd want somebody from outside the area. And as far as I know, Philip Klein ain't from there. But like I said earlier, I don't know if you got to be licensed in that state. I'm not sure. It's all things that could be looked into if we could find a way to make it all happen. I am not going to be any part of a fundraising effort. I don't want to be any part of none of that. That's why I like how that's set up, what I seen, where it was talking about, you could do this fundraising thing if you have 10,000 subs, to where it goes directly to whatever the goal is without you ever having to be a part of that. And what would be perfect is to send straight to the PI. Yeah, and that's what I think. That's how I think it would work if you did the fundraiser thing. I think. That's why I think it should be done that way. I'm not saying there aren't good YouTubers with more than 10,000 that you couldn't trust. I'm just saying, I think to avoid all the speculation and all the bullshit, the best way to go about it would be for one of them to step up, do the fundraiser, and there you go, Everybody would know that it's going directly to the PI. So when you donate money, you're knowing your money is going to a PI that's going to look for Summer or try to solve her case or, whatever. It would prevent so much drama, so much bullshit, all that. And everybody, I think regardless of where you're at, you'd want an answer. I would think. Why wouldn't you? On either side, any side. I'm not a side anymore. I don't trust nobody on YouTube. I question everything. I've seen and heard and been around enough to where I don't trust nobody. That's why I love how that fundraiser thing works. That the way, from what I've read, like I said, I'm not 1,000% expert on this, but it seems like to me when you have 10,000 subs, you can do one simple fundraiser, have that everything from that fundraiser go directly to whatever the objective goal account is. Was Summer's picture in the adoption catalog at the Seventh-day Adventist church where Robin had taken pictures of her? Not to any knowledge that I have. There's no middleman after all the hullabaloo with the other fundraiser. Direct to the BI is the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the way I understand it too. There's no middleman. It goes directly to the goal ahead. But I think it should be something that was looked into. And like I said, we could look and people that wanted to help out, we could figure this out, how to make this happen. Right now I have Google. Hold on. Is there a directory of private let me start over. I screwed that all up. Private eye directory for the state of Tennessee. Tennessee Private Investigation and Polygraph Commission. Are private investigators legal in Tennessee? Oh, shit. Private investigators licensing and regulatory license required, except as otherwise provided in this part. It is unlawful for any person to act as an investigations company or private investigator without first obtaining a license from the commission. Okay, so we're going to have somebody that has a license in Tennessee for them to be able to pull this off. Tennessee Association of Licensed Professional Investigators. Home. Yeah, that's what we need. Find a PI. Okay. Directory. Here we go, man. I got a directory with names in it. Oh, wow. Quite a few, too. Oh, wow. They got a sale. This is interesting, y'all. There is tons of them. Maybe we call one of them. Let's see here. Okay, I'm seeing. Oh. I know what we do. Let's try this. Hold on. Google, I'm telling you, is a beautiful thing, man. You can find out anything this way. Who is the best private investigator in the state of Tennessee? Just a second, y'all. Nashville private investigator. Nashville's Tennessee's experienced private investigator, former federal agent, free consultation. Callahan and Associates. We've earned a reputation for being the most proficient investigators in the area. Our team comprised former federal agents and highly experienced investigators who specialize in providing our clients with the most reliable information, evidence, enabling them to make informed decisions that minimize risks. Yeah, we'll have to do some background into it. We definitely don't want, a private investigator that's, main experience is catching cheating husbands or something like that. You have anything like Angel's List that people leave reviews? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm not seeing nothing. I wonder. Hold on. Are there reviews for private investigators in Tennessee? Ooh. Vision's Private Investigations is in Knoxville. They have a 4.9 rating. Covert Results Private Investigator, 5+ years in business, 5.0 rating. Larkin's Investigators, 7+, 5.0 rating. They always respond promptly and are reasonably priced. Wow. Open 24 hours. I wouldn't send the Wells PIs a dime. This case seems to be nothing but a moneymaker for a lot of people. I'm so afraid law enforcement will frame someone else. I pray real justice will come for summer. Nobody has suggested anything like that, JoJo Husky. We're talking about getting somebody else completely on the case because they seem to think it could have been an animal. The last I heard, that was their opinion. So I don't think anybody is worried about doing that. We need to figure that out, though, because we get the truth. Pisky Forest Highlands cashiers, we become a private investigator, private detective in Tennessee. There's ways to get it done, That's okay, JoJo. We're talking about, though, that would be maybe the best next step instead of speculating and BS and all that, because that's not helping anybody. And I think a lot of people's mental health is starting to suffer from the nonsense. I don't think it has to be one from Tennessee as long as they apply to same law. I don't know. That one thing I read earlier said they have to have something from the commission. So I'm thinking you may have to be licensed in Tennessee. But like I said, we could figure all that out if we had somebody that was willing to take the lead, that had the 10,000 subscribers necessary to do like the fundraiser to where it goes directly to that PI. Now, I know Liplock knew what I was talking about. I know that you could do that for a charity. I'm thinking you could do that for whatever you wanted. I'm hoping. Let me look. Hold on. We'll Google that shit too. Can you have a fundraiser on YouTube for a private investigator? Eligible channels can fundraise for nonprofits by adding a donate button to their videos and live streams. Viewers can donate directly. Hold on. YouTube Giving allows creators to support the charitable causes they care about. Eligible channels can fundraise for nonprofits by adding a donate button to their videos and live streams. Viewers can donate directly on the video watch page or in live chat. YouTube giving isn't available on video, says made for kids. The channel is based in one of the available locations. Channel has at least 10,000 subscribers. Channel's part of the YouTube Partner Program. Channel's not designated as made for kids. See, I'm thinking that can happen. I don't see no reason that cannot happen, just like I described it. What do y'all think, though, overall? I haven't seen a lot of people's opinions. Good idea, bad idea? Just give us a good or a bad. I think it's a great idea. Wonder if Mary has looked into a PI. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, there are advantages to having a PI over law enforcement in some of these cases. I think it's a great idea myself. I don't know why you wouldn't. I would love to hear the downside to it, because I don't see one at all. And I haven't heard one yet either. Just bear with me. I'm working on something real quick. Okay, I'm sorry. Great idea, wonderful idea, great idea. Let's do this. I agree with you, John. Good, great. I'm telling y'all, it's the way to go. And there are good creators. I hope I didn't come off as acting like anybody with over 10 is not a good person, because there are. I'm just saying that's what you got to have to do this. And, worst case scenario, maybe a couple of them get real competitive and we get a couple of private investigators on the case, because you know how some of these people are, though. Anyone on YouTube who truly wanted to help will be able to share the donate to Summers PI link directly to the PI. Yes, and I'd put it on all my shit. I promise you that. If we can get this train rolling, I'll put it in my videos and on my live streams. I'll scroll that shit forever live I have, no matter what it's about, to help. Because that's the thing I'm kind of worried about is I know it's going to be expensive from what I've seen. There's always more to be learned in all things. I think we can all understand why we all feel the way we do at this point. I hope someone will pick up the baton and run with it. Mixed emotions, tired, sick of the drama, etc. Yeah, there you go, Lip Lock. Hey, I come up with the idea, man. I think I did my part. I put it out there. And it's a great idea. Lisa, it should be as simple as not having to even do nothing with no bank account or nothing. It should just be a link that goes directly to that PI. And I'm sure whichever creator would be the one doing it would be able to keep up with, how much money they're getting, I would think. There'd have to be some kind of accountability, or the PI could just, I hope somebody will be all about this. Great idea, but is private investigator a not-for-profit? Good idea, but is private investigator a not-for-profit? It didn't say it had to be a not-for-profit, did it? Hold on, let me go back and look again. You can choose a non-profit that you want to support. And you include the donate button. Oh, shit. Hold on. Uh-oh. We may have an issue. Son of a bitch. Don't tell me this is going to be the issue. Damn it. Well, that could be a problem. But I mean, if that turns out to be the issue, there's ways around things, and we could find another way to do it. If that is the case, we can't do it that way. There's got to be a way to do this. Now, I have seen where they've done this. There we go. You might have to set up a GoFundMe or something like that. Okay, God forbid if that becomes the case, then we'll do it that way. Which I think we could do the GoFundMe to where it is directly to the private investigator somehow. Because I know in Dior's case, they had to end up going that way about it. And if it end up it have to be that way, we could. This is my issue. That's why I haven't talked about this earlier. I'm not going to be a part of any fundraising money, none of that, because of I'm just not. I don't want to be involved in that part of it. But there's got to be a way we can work this out. GoFundMe is the only way that would show accountability on the money raised. All this money going to the wells could be set up on a fund for the boys, in my opinion. Suzette, yeah, that's come up a few times. It'd be a great thing. Well, I don't know. We need to look into that. There's people that know more about that kind of stuff than me. I wish they would look into that and see what they thought would be the best way to go about it. I understand lip lock, and that's one big reason why I'm not willing to be a part of that. We can work around that issue, I'm sure, John. Yeah, I think we can figure something out. I really do. They have to be invited or requested, and Lawson is in charge of the case, and he will not do it. Mohawk Mom, you are absolutely 1,000% wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but private investigators do not have to be invited to work on a case. That's why they're private investigators. They're outside of the government. Okay? They can do whatever they want. Now, the Ronnie Lawson can refuse to cooperate, and I fully expect that probably the private investigator won't get no cooperation from Hawkins County. But that does not mean that they cannot take the case and work on the case. There is nothing Ronnie Lawson can do about a private investigator that's licensed in the state of Tennessee working on Summers' case. Nothing he can do about that. Because I've already 100% expected that Ronnie Lawson is probably not going to be about a private investigator, especially somebody from outside of Hawkins County. I'd love to have Philip Klein, but I'm guaranteeing you he probably ain't able to work in Tennessee. Wonder if I could figure that out. Does Philip Klein possess a private investigator's license in Tennessee? Klein holds a level blank and manager's license with the Texas Commission on Private Security as a state license. Yeah, holds a state accredited. How much does it cost to hire a private? Well, let's look at that. How much does it cost to hire a private investigator in Tennessee? Every PI company charges a different hourly rate and fees. The typical price to hire a PI in Tennessee ranges from $65 to $125 an hour. My God. Fees may include mileage reimbursement, copies, parking, etc. Typically, a retainer is required to begin an assignment. Okay. That's interesting. What? Man. Does it matter if a PI or anyone else solves the case? As long as the DA and law enforcement doesn't charge anyone, nothing can be done. Just asking. Yeah, it matters. And I think if a PI solves a case, it's going to be pretty hard for a PI or a DA and law enforcement to ignore it if they are willing to put it out there. And if whoever hires the private investigator puts it out there that, we know what happened, we have evidence, it's going to be really hard for them to just ignore that. I'm talking about the Cold Case Foundation, not a PI. I wonder if the Cold Case can't. I'm taking it the Cold Case Foundation just won't do it because Don and Candace don't want them to, right? Hell, I'd contact Dog the Bounty Hunter at this point. Yeah, but he's good at what he does, but I don't know how good he would be about solving this kind of case. It's not like it doesn't seem like a dog thing to me. Wonder which PI Michael Monkey's mom used. She did, right? I'm not sure about that. I know that the local police is the ones that as far as I understood, found the 4 people and got all that done. I didn't realize there was a PI involved. Cold Case Foundation had to work for the family, but Don doesn't like Chris and he thinks Chris has more to do with it than he does. Yeah. Callahan and Associates in Nashville, former federal agent, does cold cases. Yeah, that's the one I seen too, Veritas. Who knows? That may be the way to go, We'll see. We need to look into this though, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm gonna look into it some more. Mary is a family member who could ask the Cold Case Foundation. See, I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how the Cold Case Foundation. I don't know how that works. How they decide which cases they will take and which they won't. And I'm not sure. John, try the Polly Klaus Foundation based out of Cali, a missing girl way back. Her dad started this group. Maybe Duty Ron has a connection. And I wish Grady Judd was the sheriff where Summers found. She would have already been found. Grady Judd don't bullshit. That's no doubt about that. I like Grady Judd. He's a good dude. Y'all big fans. I see him get brought up a lot. A lot of people like him. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna have to get off here though. I thought it was something to think about anyway. You know, I don't see anything else to try. I don't see anything else feasible. You know, if at this point, if anything come out of Dawn and Candace for them to slip, I'd be shocked. Because, I mean, you got to look at how much they've been out there and how much they've already spoke and nothing's come from it. You know, I don't know. To me, I think about what would I do at this point, and I would have to have me. If Summer was my daughter and I was at the point we're at now, my next step would be to find me the best private investigator I could possibly find and do that. You know, that's all I'm saying. If Summer was my daughter, that's what I would do. I can't think of anything else to try at this point. You know, and she has a lot of people that care about her, and I just thought I wanted to share that with y'all, see what y'all thought. Because I feel like, you know, what else? What else is there to do? You know, nothing else left to try in my book. I'm kind of, you know, we don't know what law enforcement has, but given, you know, what we've heard and what we've seen, I don't have a ton of faith. If it was my daughter, that's what I would do. You know, it's where I'd be at. Thanks everybody for coming and listening to me ramble. Like I said, you know, I was just really frustrated when I decided to go live. That's kind of why I did it. And then I ended up calming down enough to where I didn't blow up, thank goodness, and upset a lot of people. But I appreciate everybody coming, hanging out with me for like 2 hours. And I appreciate everybody that, you know, watches the videos and all that good stuff. Me and Randy really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting us. And we get tons of nice comments. And, you know, like I said, moral of today's video is if she was my daughter, that's what I would do. Just saying. Dawn, Candace, sure you're not big fans, probably don't watch my shit, but if you want to find your daughter and, you know, you want the opinion of somebody that has some common sense, I would go get me the best private investigator I could find. And instead of raising money for yourselves, I would send the money toward them. Thanks everybody for coming. I'll see y'all soon.